Hello, welcome to a cold winter's day in the garage. I've got a tool review for you today. This isn't a sponsored video, this is a review of some tools that I have bought with my own money and everything. I just thought it was a really good little set. It's a socket set, so I thought I'd make a video about it to share my experiences in case you're looking for something like this or you're thinking of buying one. Okay, what are we going to be talking about then? We're going to be talking about, don't worry, I'll do a close-up of it in a minute. It's a Facom RXPICO low profile socket set. I think it's also called the R180HX. I love buying tools and I love having an excuse to buy some new tools to add to my collection. And the excuse for this purchase was a 2013 Mini Countryman. Not something I'd worked on before. I didn't do a video of the job that I've done on it that triggered this purchase, by the way, unfortunately, because I was rather pushed for time. If you ever made videos yourself, you know that it easily doubles the time it takes to do a particular job. Anyway, I digress. It was a Mini Countryman that had a rattle that to a casual listen would sound like a timing chain rattle, except it wasn't a timing chain rattle. It was due to that and that. So this is the water pump drive pulley, and this is a water pump friction drive unit that basically switches the water pump on and off effectively. And this in particular is the one that made me need to add some new tools to my collection. So this is bolted to the side of the engine and it's right up next to the right hand chassis leg, meaning that you've only got a very small amount of clearance to get to these three bolts. There isn't clearance to put a ratchet spanner on here because the ratchet spanner doesn't clear the casing there, so you need to use a socket. So I started off having a go with this, which is my trusty and very enjoyable to use KTC Tools. It's a Japanese brand if you're not familiar with them. KTC Tools 1/4 inch ratchet with a bendy handle and a 10mm socket, but there was not enough clearance to fit that in over the bolt, and even if you could just about get it in, as you undid the bolt would go into here and it would kind of lock it in place between the friction drive unit and the chassis leg. So I'll zoom in a bit and I'll talk a bit more about why I chose this Facom set, and we'll have a better look at it now. Okay, here we are over at the bench. You can get a better look at it. I'll open it up in a minute. I'll talk about the alternatives that I considered. So Wera, I'm a big fan of Wera tools as well. They make a Zyklop mini ratchet set. And I've seen videos of other people using a Wera set to do the job that I've described. But I'm also a big fan of Facom tools, and I got one of their other ratchet sets already, which is that one there, which is a bit driver set. I'll show you that in a bit more detail in a minute. I was really pleased with that, and this is in a similar sort of style, similar vein to that, so I thought let's give it a go. One of the other reasons for choosing this over the Wera, and I'll open this up now, is that the ratchet has got the ability to be bent like that and locked in place at different angles, which the Wera one, as I understand it, doesn't. So that was an extra selling point for me over that one. Okay, so as you can see, you get a case, you get a ratchet, you get some sockets. Let's have a look at the ratchet first. Feels really sturdy in the hand. It is about 115 millimeters long, 4.5 inches ish. So we have a button here, as I've already kind of shown you, with various increments of flexing of the head there. Goes all the way around that way as well. Put it back in the middle for now. And then we've got the direction adjust there, and you can see that is really low profile, which is very helpful when you're working in a tight space, because the last thing you want is to be whatever you're brushing up against here to catch that and push it and change the direction of the ratchet, that can get really annoying. Okay, and then we have a set of sockets, and I'll take one of these out and show you in more detail. So 5.5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We'll pick the 10 because obviously that's the one that's going to get the most use. So each of the sockets have this hexagonal section around the outside, and that engages into there like that. But what they also have, which is really nice, is a standard 1/4 inch drive, so you don't have to use this ratchet. If you want to just use the sockets for something where you don't need the clearance, then they can just fit into a 1/4 inch drive unit like that. So that's a really useful feature. So let's pop that in there like that. Now this is quite a tight fit in there. When I first got it, I thought that was a bit of criticism, because I thought, well, it's really, really difficult to pull the sockets out of there. But actually, when I was doing the job that I described to you earlier, replacing this, it would have been really annoying if the socket became disengaged from the ratchet. So yeah, kind of a bit difficult to get them out. My preferred way of doing it is to push them like that. There you go. So now I'll just give you a sense of how much difference it makes. Get the calipers out. This is my standard 1/4 inch and 10mm, and we'll squash it up as much as we can. 36.3mm. And this one, 18. So that's quite satisfying, isn't it? This is exactly, pretty much exactly half the height of this. And so this enabled me to do that job of changing that this wouldn't enable me to do. So an extremely worthwhile purchase. I'm really pleased with it. A great addition to the toolbox. A little bit of a bonus a bonus footage, if you will, then while we're on the subject of Facom small ratchet sets. This is the other one that I was describing to you. I'll put links to both of these in the description, by the way. So very, very similar in length. Again, this one's got the articulating head. Forward and reverse there. And this is a bit driver, so they go in there like that. This can be really useful for getting into tight spaces, and also for doing that first undo of a screw that's been stuck in position for some time and you're struggling to get enough purchase on it with a standard screwdriver. Also comes with an extension like that. And then the last trick, I guess, is that if you line this up correctly, we see it's got a spot on there. That will go all the way through like that, and then the screwdriver bit can go in the bottom like that, and you've got a T-handle to get some extra purchase that way as well. So yeah, this was the one I bought first. Kind of sold me on Facom being nice quality tools, and then when I needed something to work on the Mini, this was a kind of an obvious choice for me. I'm really pleased with it. We should probably talk about the cost. It's not that cheap. The Wearer set is definitely cheaper, and the Wearer set does also come with a bit driver ratchet as well as the low profile socket ratchet. However, for me, that angle feature, and especially with the lock on the angle feature, makes this a really useful tool. It justified the extra cost for me. I've already used that functionality. Okay, that's about it for this video. Hope you enjoyed hearing about my adventures with the Facom RXPICO low profile socket set. I'll put links to this set and the bit driver ratchet that I've featured in this video if you want to buy one for yourself. If you like this type of thing, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. The majority of my videos are of me actually working on stuff, fixing stuff. This is going to be the next subject of a few of those videos later on. You'll be seeing it featured there. This is a Honda Acti, by the way. But I throw in tool reviews now and again as and when I buy something new that I feel is worth telling you about. So look forward to seeing you again for the next one. Bye for now.